Hello and welcome to the first edition of Flipping Grand Bahama News, where we concentrate on developments in Grand Bahama, the Bahamas, and around the region. I'm your host, Yasmin Popescu. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsors. Flipping Grand Bahama. It's all about looking at where we are and working on ways to make us better. We're also giving updates on new and exciting things that are going on the island. Catch us every Tuesday and Friday, and coming soon, video news on Thursdays. Flipping Grand Bahama. We're keeping you informed. Welcome back to Flipping Grand Bahama News. This week we can report there are a number of projects coming on stream for Grand Bahama in this very year and the near future. We can see work is continuing in the old Jokers Wild, which is poised to become Cayo Bahamas. One of the partners in this venture, Ricky Martin, said they're hoping to open for Easter, but it appears that this summer's concert and events will be at this new location. Martin is known for such productions as Love and Unity Fest concerts and comedy shows. Already, Redbeards has moved their business from the Old Britannia pub to the Old Chart House, and reviews are still great on their services and food. The Old Britannia pub, according to sources, is poised for a new revival with an investor taking some interest. We'll be reporting on this development soon. The pub on the mall is also going under renovations for new life across from International Bazaar. Lots of work seen going on there. Flipping Grand Bahama. It's all about looking at where we are and working on ways to make us better. We're also giving updates on new and exciting things that are going on the island. Catch us every Tuesday and Friday, and coming soon, video news on Thursdays. Flipping Grand Bahama. We're keeping you informed. In industrial news, Buckeye Partners LP, owners of the Bahamas Oil Refining Company, BORCO, reported last week a strong first quarter, noting that overall their income from continuing operations from the first quarter of 2014 was $101.5 million, compared to their income from continuing operations for the first quarter of 2013, which was $94.8 million. President and Chief Executive Officer Clark C. Smith was quoted saying the contribution from the terminals recently acquired from Hess Corporation, as well as returns on growth capital investments, drove strong financial results from their pipeline and terminals and global marine terminals segments. He went on to note in their quarterly release that the full quarter contribution from the Hess terminals as the acquisition closed in December 13th, but he said work remained to be done on their Hess integration and commercialization efforts to realize the full benefits from this acquisition, but he said they're pleased with their results to date. Smith said their growth capital investment across their legacy assets were also a key driver of improved performance over the year-ago quarter. He noted that investment in crude rail operations at their Chicago complex and the expansion of crude oil storage at Borco Terminal contributed to the uplift. Parent company of the Grand Bahama Power Company, Emera, has also reported a strong first quarter earnings, which showed a 65% increase to $1.05 billion compared to $638.1 million in the first quarter of 2013. The Halifax-based energy company said their earnings per share, including market-to-date gains, were 1.43, which is up from 93 cents in the first quarter of last year. Chris Huskinson, Emera's president and CEO, said the company had a strong start to 2014, thanks in part to its success at securing $1.3 billion of debt financing for the Maritime Link project. The development, he said, is being built to ship hydroelectricity to Nova Scotia from the Musket Falls project in Labrador. This report also notes that Emera Caribbean's net income was $6.6 million in the first quarter of 2014 compared to the first quarter of 2013, which was $4.4 million. The increased net income, it said, was primarily due to decreased operating, maintenance, and general expenses and the stronger U.S. dollar quarter over quarter and higher electric margin. Flipping Grand Bahama. It's all about looking at where we are and working on ways to make us better. We're also giving updates on new and exciting things that are going on the island. Catch us every Tuesday and Friday. And coming soon, video news on Thursdays. Flipping Grand Bahama. We're keeping you informed. According to a recent news report, senior partner in McKinney Bancroft and Hughes, Queen's Counsel Brian Moree, is said to advise the country to resist as long as we can the mounting global pressure to agree to the automatic exchange of tax information. This was said to have happened at a time when the world's largest offshore financial center, Switzerland, agreed to commit to the initiative. At this time in the Bahamas, there is still a great debate on the installation of value-added taxes to this once tax-free country. According to the World Trade Organization, for this country to take part in global trading as it once did, it's time to change the way we do business, including the addition of taxes. This, according to some critics, meant a lot of changes, including the changes that were made recently with customs management, and are now not only looking at VAT, but also the possibility of income taxes. The news report said the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, heralded the end of bank secrecy in a recent statement when, following the organization's annual Ministerial Council meeting in Paris, 47 countries agreed to the automatic exchange of information on tax matters. Moree, in a news article, said he views the declaration as a harbinger of what can be expected to happen in the major international financial centers worldwide. We'll be back with regional news after these messages. In news from the Caribbean, delegates to the 38th meeting of the Council for Trade and Economic Development, COTED, were encouraged to continue to search for solutions to the various challenges that beset the Caribbean community, CARICOM, with conviction and confidence. Acting Chairman of COTED, the Honorable Alva Baptiste, Minister of External Affairs, International Trade and Civil Aviation of St. Lucia, delivered the charge on Friday morning in remarks at the opening ceremony of the two-day meeting at the Pegasus Hotel, Georgetown, Guyana. Minister Baptiste, who is acting chairman in the unavoidable absence of Honorable Wilson Lalou, Minister of Trade and Industry of Haiti, referred to changes in the international arena, including the turbulent economic situation and their effects on the community. He described the community as a veteran that had survived the constant international changes and called for the continuation of a restless search for solutions. In international news, the global economy will grow by less than expected this year as growth in developing economies slows, the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development predicts in a recent report. The report went on to say that the OECD expects 3.4% world growth this year, down from its 3.6% in November's forecast. But on the bright side, their forecast says that in 2015 they still expect growth of 3.9%. For China and the U.S., the forecasts were still cut. OECD Secretary General Angel Gurria said they are still not out of the woods yet. In the UK, the OECD predicts growth of 3.2% for this year, up from its forecast of 2.4% just 6 months ago. It also upgraded its forecast for 2015 to 2.7% from 2.5%. The upgrade for the UK was the highest of the G7 countries. The OECD credited the UK's very accommodative monetary policy and stronger job growth for the improved forecast. It stated that economy activity is expected to continue to be sustained by household spending and further boosted by a pickup in investment. We look forward to the changes expected in the later quarter of this year and into 2015. With that, thank you for watching Flipping Grand Bahama News with your host, Yasmin Popescu. Look for us every Thursday right here for more development and business news.